Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom, great people. Shalom, shalom. This is Nubian King. And I just wanted to take a few moments to update you to let you know that all is well here with me. Um, being positive. But as you know, many of you know, I live in Israel. I've been in Israel for 42 years. And the city I live in is Ashkelon. Ashkelon is just maybe 11, 12 miles north of Gaza City, where they're shooting the rockets into the country, which that means that we are the first city that these rockets come in. And I can tell you, being in Ashkelon, we got mollywopped. You know, so far, none have damaged any immediate buildings I'm in. But we good. We holding there. We got out, got all our provisions and everything, we needed, from the water to the nuts and the dry goods and the gas cooker and all the different things we figured we would need, that if the electricity goes out for a week, 2 weeks, we'll still be able to manage. So we good, we good. We hanging in here because, we've been through this so many times in them 42 years. You really kind of get used to it, And prior to this situation, it's been, one second. Prior to this situation started last Saturday, October 7th, 6 a.m., Hamas would shoot rockets in the country, and it'll last for a while. Then after a while, a day or two, whatnot, they'll get to some type of truce or agreement, and then the rockets will stop. Well, this situation, in the 42 years I've been here, and other brothers and sisters that's been here that time, 30 years, brothers and sisters that's been here for decades. And amongst us, we ask ourselves, have we ever seen Hamas come in and do? No, never. It's always been the rockets, come into Israel for whatever reason. We don't always know what the reason is because, you're in the country, you're living, you're doing your life, you're going back and forth to work, school, or what have you. And we don't know what's going on down there in Gaza unless someone tells you, okay? Why they start shooting the rockets, we don't always necessarily know exactly why. They shooting the rockets. Well, this time is very, very different. And me, I keep up with world events, world news. I keep up with a lot of news and information. Africa, America, China, Russia, Japan, certainly here in Israel, where I live. And I can tell that this entire world, the way it has operated, has changed. Fundamentally, this world has changed. Mhm. These group of Hamas fighters that came in the country, uh, when you look out there and you see these guys, and for those of you that have served in the military and you familiar with that, you should know a kamikaze mission where you're not really expected to make it back. The chances of you making it back is slim to none. But the way this went down is in a manner in 42 years of living in Israel and all them decades and all them rockets come in from Gaza and all of this from the north, from Hezbollah. None of my people that have been here for those years have ever seen any incursion like this. The 6-Day War in 1973 was the worst. I came in 81. And since 81, 42 years later, yeah, we done seen a lot of rockets bomb coming up in here. And for the more than 8 years I've lived here in Ashkelon, which is just about 11, 12 miles north of Gaza, yep, I done sat through a lot of bombings. Yeah. And I can say to you that something I'm telling you, something really, really was not kosher with this situation here. I work with a company that built the wall around the entire Gaza city. From the north, it's 7 miles from the Mediterranean inland, and it goes south 25 miles to the border of Egypt. And then it turns again back out to the Mediterranean for another 3 miles. And that's a 25-mile. And we built that wall. I was the fuel delivery. Took about 4 years. Some parts of that wall is 300 feet deep. The reason why they built the wall was to stop the terrorists, Palestinian, Hamas, what have you, coming into the country through the tunnel system. They would tunnel in and come up, and do what they're going to do. So Israel built this wall 300 feet deep. And I asked the engineer, why so deep? Now they said because at that depth, they reached the water table. And if they dug a tunnel, then, the water would flood it out. Well, above the wall, they had 7 meters of steel, which if you've been watching, is so much information been pushed around internet from over here that you saw them, they cut right through that steel and drove the ATVs, the motorcycles, and the buggies. And then if you saw the video, they had the big front end loader push it right down. Now, when we was out there and I was delivering the fuel to all the equipment, they told us, had us thinking that the wall had sensors in it, if they be down in the ground digging, that, they would be able to detect it. But that wall didn't hold up nothing. I mean, them guys came in just like poof, and they paraglided in from the air and came up out the water. Now, here's the point that really is very, very strange to me. Listen, when we was out there, building that project, every morning I would show up. Some mornings I get out there at 6 because the drills they bought out of Germany The fuel tank was 1,200 liters, and we had to make sure they was filled every 12 hours. We had a day shift and a night shift, and those big drills reached that 300-foot deep. Right now, we had the WhatsApp group of all of the operators of those drills. In the north end of Gaza is an area called Eretz, and then in the middle, Kitufim, and at the south, Keren Shalom. And I worked the Eretz north end and drove all the way down to Egypt to the Kitufim and filled up all the equipment. Now, every morning that I woke up at 5 a.m., all of the operators had sent their fuel levels to the WhatsApp group. And so I knew all of the machines I had to get to, and my other partner, he knew all the machines he had to get to. He worked in the Kitufim area, which is the center portion, and I was working the north and the south. Some days I wake up at 5 and the machine had maybe 2 hours of fuel left. So I had to scat out there. Every single morning I went out there, them soldiers was already there, because they there 24/7. They was lined up across the hill. And what the military did, built that they built a tunnel. Excuse me, I'm sorry, not a tunnel, but a trench. The trench was about 30, 40 meters deep. About meters. Maybe it was about close to 60, 70 feet deep and 100-foot wide, because you had to get all this big equipment. And so we went down in the trench and we would go north or south. And that was like, to protect us if there was any snipers over there in Gaza. So we did this. Now, the thing is every single morning I went out there, the soldiers was out there on that hill surveying Gaza. And every evening I came back, The thing that's strange is that how is it that these jokers could come across that daggone wall undetected to make it as far as into the city of Netivot and get in there and take over the police station? You know what I'm saying? Then to get up here in Ashkelon where I'm at. And they out in the streets shooting and killing people. This is the part that is super incredibly strange to me. I have 6 children that served in the military, right? Right now, I got 2. One that's finishing up active duty. I got another one just been spun up for reserve duty. And Israel military is not no joke. Trust me. They have a unit that they call Shayat Shloshesrei that's on the level of the Navy SEALs. Matter of fact, some of them boys have told me, that they have trained with the Navy SEALs. So they ain't no joke. Then they have another unit. They got several units that they could lay down the pain. They could bring the pain. And they neutralize those terrorists in the ground, in these cities. But never in the 42 years I've been here have I ever seen Israel in a position where they couldn't deal with Hamas. Okay? Even from the north, where you got Hezbollah, which is way, way stronger and tougher than Hamas. Israel's always been able to hold its own. And they haven't got weak. Israel has one of the world's most technologically advanced militaries. They got the F-35, F-16, F-15, all of that, everything you could think of. Okay, so people ask me, am I going to evacuate from where I'm at? Uh, at this time, no. You know, at this time, no. I've like I said, we gotten all the supplies, everything, the dry good, the gas cookers, the flashlight, and everything we need to last for a good stretch. So with Israel dealing with Gaza, I got to go with Israel because they I know them. They ain't nothing to play with, and I'm close enough to my house to where the rockets, the bombs that they dropping down there leveling Gaza, I can hear them. Now, just so you know, if you don't know, that the government in Israel has been in turmoil for a minute. It ain't been one solid government. You got Netanyahu, and if you already know, he got 3 criminal cases hanging over his head, and the government, he like just trying to stay in there, and everybody know that his objective is to stay out of prison. That is nothing. If you've been keeping up, you know that. But he's an old, calculative, cat that's been at the game for a long time. Well, nevertheless, when this jumped off Saturday the 7th, like a day or two later, they snapped together a unity government right quick. And what they said, the 3 of them, Lapid, Benny Gantz, Netanyahu, they said, look, let's get ourselves together right quick. Let's squash all our differences and put this unity government together so we can fight Hamas. The reason why they had to do that is because the government would activate Article 40A. Article 40A. Article 40A for the state of Israel would give the military and the government like carte blanche to do whatever they feel they need to do to protect their country. Article 40A. Hold on, I just want to let me pull it up for you because I want you to know how this go. Okay, Israel Security Cabinet has approved the declaration of war against Palestine group Hamas, marking the first invocation of Article 40A since 1973. The move come after Hamas infiltrated southern Israel, sending fighters, firing 5,000 rockets and taking captive. The Israeli death toll from the unprecedented attack has now today touched 1,200 and more than 2,500 been wounded. The clause 40, this is Article A, the clause 40 allows the government to order significant military action that may lead with a level of probability to close to a certain war. The prime minister will be able to make certain decisions with only the approval of the security cabinet. You hear that? The prime minister will be able to make certain decisions with only the approval of the security cabinet. The clause 40 says that the country cannot go to war without a government decision. The Israeli Defense Force would now be able to act independently and at its own discretion and report to the relevant national authorities. This is what they have activated. So that means when you have the sole authority to attack anybody that you say you feel you need to attack, there it is. They put that unit to government right quick, and this is what they're doing now. Me and my people that's been here 30, 40 years, we've all talked and just for a checkup from the neck up. I asked several of my brothers, have you ever seen America spun up aircraft carriers, bombers to come in to help Israel deal with Hamas out of Gaza? Absolutely not. Never. Never have we known that. Because we know Israel can deal with Hamas. So, why? When they put the Article 40 together, it states the definition as whenever there's peace threatened to the nation, or the nation it receive aggression from another aggressive nation, then they could go and defend the nation as they see fit. Now, for those you've been keeping up, you should know how they've been talking about Iran. Now, the coast of Israel is only 2,000, just okay, 2,000 kilometers, just short 2,000 miles. Is a bit over 2,000 kilometers from the coast of Israel to Tehran. Tehran is the capital city of Iran. Okay, but Tehran is not on the western border of Iran, which means you closer to Israel, right? Tehran is further north, right? And so that means you really would have flown into Iran before you get to Tehran, the capital city. Okay. So 2,000 miles for a jet fighter is nothing. A hop, skip, and a jump. Hey, get over there. Nothing flat. So when you're looking around here, and you see America sending in aircraft carriers, and they tell you, it's here to fight Gaza, don't be fooled. Israel don't need no help. America been sending Israel $3.2 billion every year. See, they'll get you, get you caught all up with a panic. Then next thing you know, they telling you dust, dust, and dust. It's just a sad state of affairs when you got old men start wars and young men and women fight them and die. And that just be the way it is, It's a damnable shame, man. We over here having to sit through this. And we know, what these knuckleheads is doing. Anyway, this is what I feel, that they over here gearing up to get over there and get into Iran. Because, you can shoot past Israel and get over into Jordan, fly across Jordan, cross Iraq, pass Baghdad, all the way up into Iran in 30 minutes. And you got the jet fighters, full fuel. They good for at least 4 hours flight time. So you take 30 minutes to get in there, 30 minutes out, that's an hour. They got 3 hours of fuel to do whatever kind of mission they need to do. And they are the aircraft carriers here. It's already here in Israel. And the 10 battleships, because you know when you move the aircraft carrier, them things worth multi-billion dollars investment. America has 11. All right. And they sent out the 10 battleships to protect it. This particular aircraft carrier has 4,500 personnel on it. So they ain't sending all that in here for Gaza. Israel got Gaza, you know, but that's what I'm thinking. You know, they want to get over there and get to tangling with Iran. And now I've had several people to call me checking to ask how you doing. We heard, you know, Israel's at war. Just want to know how you doing, brother. And, you know, I'm good, family good. You know, it's definitely a nerve-wracking situation. That's for sure. But one of my brothers asked, are you going to vacate up out of there? I mean, if the ish hit the fan, like we know it can, where you gonna go? I mean, if you go north, you got Hezbollah up there in Lebanon, that they 10 times more powerful than Hamas. And they've been, you know, doing some operation already up north, the Golan area. Then down here in the south, you got Hamas throwing rockets. So where would you go? I have children here. I got 2 in the military right now. My baby girl, my middle son. Big Papa ain't interested in running up out of this country and leaving his babies here. Hell no. If anything, you can give me a gun and I can take care of business. I know what to do. You ain't got to worry. But I'm not running up out of here leaving my babies here. Can you imagine if my children in the military and they find their father done left and went to another country? Ain't no way. Hell no. We're not finna do that. You know what I'm saying? If anything, like I said, give me a weapon. I get out there and fight with them. But anyway, you know, if it's ever been a time that you all need to look at the news and you know, I know it can be overwhelming for you, but you need to keep up, seriously, because this world is changing. It's going through a change. We got this guy running around talking about the New World Order, Klaus Schwab, and his advisor is a Jewish guy named Yuval Harari. He's the spiritual advisor behind Klaus Schwab. Okay, and so you know they looking at flipping this world all the way to a different state of existence, and I would not want that to happen because these people that's running this world have shown themselves to be some of the greatest demons, devil, evil people that walk the face of this planet, and they don't care. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Another point that you should be aware of is that the last census they took, they saw that 26 states, and you can look this up if you want. I shared this with some more people and they didn't believe it because, you know, it's hard to accept these terrible facts about yourself, but you can go look it up. 26 states in the United States of America has reported 0 white babies. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. 0 white babies in over a year and a half, not born in 26 states. America only has 50 states. So 25 is half. 26 is just over half that have not no white babies born, which means what? With every white person that died, there's no white babies born to replace them in over 26 states. Now, you don't like it? Tough titty. Go and look it up. Now, just like I know this, they know that. Why? Because they told me. So how you think you would feel knowing that you literally going into extinction? And ain't nothing you can do about it. And it ain't nothing, nobody that you can point the finger at and blame. So with a spirit like that, you daggone right they'll tear some stuff up. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like if I'm not gonna be here, I ain't gonna let nobody else be here. So all this war and strife and frustration and death and pain is because of decisions that bandits is making on the way out the door. On the way out the door. Hell, I can't have it. Ain't nobody gonna have it. If I can't live, ain't nobody gonna live. And they hell bent on just killing people. And the surprising thing is we know it. And aren't militaries put together to protect yourself from an enemy just trying to kill you? It's like you, the military, they trying to kill you, you trying to kill them. Why they still alive when you know who they are that's trying to kill you? You know what I'm saying? What you here for? And so we talk all the time about what they doing. And they always keep doing it. Now we sitting over here, you know what I'm saying? And the Rockets, I mean, they mollywop this city. We out getting stuff in a ghost town. You got a few Rough Riders out, moving around, grabbing up a few things, shopping. Ain't no water. Ain't no more water. Went several places. The only place I found water, the store wasn't open, and the security guard was outside protecting the water. I said, hey, y'all selling that water? He said, nope. The whole city. I talked to a friend of mine in another city. She said, man, I got a little water by the skin of my teeth. Ain't no water. So is it serious? Daggone right. Absolutely. I went out, stocked up, man. We locked down. What we say, we locked, cocked, ready to rock. We in for the long haul. I'm not running up out of here, leaving my children. That's a no-no. But at the end of the day, you know what? It's going to be all right. Yeah, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. At the end of the day, we know we got warmongers running this world. And I know there's a time where you could look and you say, man, this is just crazy. And it is. It most definitely is. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But it's that big old but. They're not going to be able to do what we believe they want to do, and that's to destroy billions of people. You know what I mean? That's not going to do that. I mean, somewhere along the line, it'll happen to them before it happened to a billion of people. Really. Because just like you got all these highly trained men and women, ex-military, military, that know how to do everything, they could go just like everybody else. Now, I'm leaving my phone on because I'm doing this out of the bomb shelter. Matter of fact, some of you all may have been on a broadcast I was doing with uh, Judge Joe Brown last year, and you actually heard the siren go off And, the bombs, I had to stop because, at that time, it was just almost like when you hear the siren, a few seconds later, uh, you would hear the explosion. Yes, I'm in Ashkelon now, and I'm just doing an update to my YouTube listeners. But we're all right so far. So far, so good. I leave my phone on. I'm sorry that it's a lot of people that's been checking up on me, and this sister, she's in Richmond, friend of mine. I just let her know because people concerned. She asked, "Am I in Ashkelon?" Yeah. So anyway, it looked tough, and it is, but this ain't the end. This is not the end. We passing through threshold of change. Last year during the summer, I went through what I lost my superpowers, meaning that as a spiritual being on the planet, your spirit allows you to know things and see things and sense things and understand things, in a different manner that uh, non-spiritual people can understand or comprehend. I've been brother that have worked on um, my mental powers for quite some time. When I was first introduced to the power of the mind many, many years ago, and this is something that our people of color, black folks, as you want to call them, have never been really introduced to the power in between our ears. As black people, we've always been led to believe in something external, but not yourself. Well, I was just fortunate to be able to um, run into a group of elders here in Israel, one in particular that introduced me to the power of the Nubian mind. And for decades, several decades, I have been working and practicing and building the strength of that mind. Now, you probably heard about MK Ultra, where they have been doing certain experiments to increase the thought process of the mind. You probably heard about the MK Ultra when um, one experiment is they have one person on one country and another person all the way on the other side in another country. And what they experimented was one of the people would read something, and what they read, they was able to transfer it to the other person on the other side of the country. And so it's like if you were a spy somewhere, you don't have to do any radio communication. You don't have to save anything. And you could be looking at whatever you need to see and transfer it to this other person on the other side of the planet, and they could get it and put it, that's like, under the MK Ultra thing. Now, what I've been doing is working on developing the power of my mind now that I've been introduced to it and been made aware of it. You understand? Because when we sitting up in these places and we're told to give all your whatever to some external belief, then where does that leave you? What about you? I mean, all of that brain in between your head, do you know their studies have said that mankind uses less than 1/10 of 1% of the capabilities of his brain? So that means if you divide the brain up in 10 pieces, right? Then you take one of the 10 pieces and chop it up into 10 pieces. 10 part tenth, right? Then it says that one of those 10 pieces that you chopped up out of the other 10 pieces, you only use less than 1/10 of 1% of the capabilities of the brain. You follow me? You got the whole brain and you divide it into 10 pieces. Then one of the 10 pieces, you divide that into 10 pieces. And now they say you use less than 1/10, one of them 10th, to go through your whole life, working, going home, working, going home. What about that, all that big brain that's left? Their studies say that you come to this planet, don't even ever know that you ain't even aware of it, and you're gone. Just like I'm telling this to you, now I'm making you aware that you have so much incredible brain power left that you can control the bullets, bombs, and rockets. But if you never introduce it, that if somebody always telling you bad things about black people this, black people stink, black people this, black people ignorant, black, then you kind of begin to believe that you ain't nothing. And when they constantly do that to you, your self-esteem is damaged. You start looking at yourself like you don't like yourself. And whether you don't like yourself is not their concern. Your enemy concern is that you don't ever get to know the power that you have sitting right in between your ears that you carry around with you every day, 24/7, and you ain't even aware of it. Now, that power is more powerful than any bomb and bullet they can make. And they showed it to you in your very face, right? The movie Matrix that the great sister Sophia Stewart put together. I know the sister, we don't have plenty of conversation. We're on WhatsApp together. We always chatting and texting. I always use that movie as a visual representation of the power of our people, especially the part where the woman kissed Neo after he got shot by the agent when he was trying to get in the room to get to the phone. When she kissed him, that brought him back to life. And when he came back to life, that's where the consciousness of his power began to awaken, far greater than what Morpheus was able to do in the construct and other things. And then when he looked, after he came back, he said no. And they were shooting them bullets at him down the hall, and them bullets stopped in midair. And he picked one of the bullets, and he looked at it, and the rest of them fell. Then he looked at the agent, and they looked like, oh, snap. And he ran down and jumped in one and burst into pieces. That right there is a visual representation of some of the incredible mental power that we have that we've never been introduced to. But that sister Sophia Stewart, she's different. Trust me. That sister, she is vibrating on another whole level. Yes, sir, Bob. Oh, I love her too. I love to talk to her because she, some people say she's eccentric, she's special, she kufu cocoa pops, but those people that say those type things about her are those people that's walking sleep and can't not even comprehend where she coming from. But me, I love to talk to her. she she reminded me of my mentor that prepared me to go into the pyramid. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Love her. She made the Matrix, the Terminator came from that sister's mind. Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. You know, it. I feel it's gonna get a little bit more thicker. Where if we do have to move again, I'm not leaving my children. I'm not interested in that. You know, America already done tossed around the conversation of getting all the Americans out of Israel. What about my children? Dad ain't interested in leaving his babies over here. And I'm not going to have my babies to look up and find that when they come back in from the military, their father's not there. No, man. All that military that they got to deal with, the stress and whatnot, the lack of sleep and the noise, that won't bother them as much as coming home and finding out their father not there. No, 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 no. I know that mentality. I'll be sitting there with my rifle, dust, sweaty, ain't had a bath in a week, hungry, but them babies gonna see me. Yeah, buddy. So anyway, my beautiful people, just want to give you a little update, a little strength, food for thought, let you know this ain't over with. We still here. We locked, cocked, ready to rock, and we dug in like a Texas tick. So don't you worry. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be all right. I said this because I love you. How much do I love you? Woo! I love you from the basement of my heart to the attic of my mind. I love you 24/7. That means I love you all the time. Shalom.